going on? I know it's like early and everybody's like, oh man, you don't ever broadcast now. But I said as soon as the GATA or GAT, I don't know how they say it. GATA, however it's pronounced, it came in today and I'm like, you know what? We're going to go through this thing together. I want to see, um, it's a new tank that QP Design put out. It's a 2-in-1, so it not only does direct lung, but it also does mouth to lung. And it's interesting the way they set this up to where you can swap out different airflow rings and tanks to make it an enjoyable vape for you, whether you like direct lung or mouth to lung. Instead of having to buy two separate devices, you can buy one, and boom, you're good to go. So let me show y'all what this thing looks like. The GATA, and you can see right here it says 2-in-1 RTA. I got it in black, and you can also, well, I would say you could get it in black, but right now on their website, the black is completely sold out, and I think they only have 5 of the stainless left. So that's how quick these sold. Inside, obviously, you get your little QP sticker, and then you get your authentication card with the serial number. I have serial number 729. Don't ask me why I have a high serial number when I'm ordered like really fast, but that's okay. Um, so inside you'll see you got 2 separate tank sections, your deck. This is your direct lung, and down here is your mouth to lung, which has 3 airflow holes on there that you can't really see. But there we go. There's the 3 airflow holes. And then inside this baggie, you get your sparrow rings, a flathead screwdriver, your Allen wrench, and a spare little Ultim piece, which I don't see my spare Ultim piece. Be in there. Oh, there it is. It's right up against the screwdriver right there. And I'll show you the Ultim piece. So this tank here, this is the tank for mouth to lung, and you don't want to use this with any type of juices that have like acidic or menthol, because it will crack this tank. This tank also feels old school method. For any of y'all that been vaping for a long time, you'll understand that you have to fill this from the bottom right next to the chimney section here. That's how you fill this one, because the top is completely closed off with a 510 drip tip. And there's another drip tip, a much wider bore drip tip on the glass tank. Now, if you are going to vape menthol or acidic juices, then you want to use your glass tank. But if you're not, then you can use this guy. And the deck, you can take either tank, hey Oz, either tank and put on here. Here's the build deck. Now this build deck is set up for a single coil, and you can see that Ultim piece in there, and that's set up for mouth to lung. Now if you want to do direct lung, you can actually take that Ultim piece out. Your wicking channels are here on the side. To actually unscrew this, this is a postless deck obviously, but you have to go through the side here and unscrew it. Why is the camera not focusing worth a darn? But so your juice inflow goes through here and then comes up and hits your wick. Boom. So you can either take this tank and screw on here, boom, just like that. Make sure you don't cross thread this, because you'll be in a world of hurt if you cross thread this thing. Very fine threads on this. And then the glass tank is right here. The glass tank is similar to the Fatality M25. It has that same half turn deal to take it off. So half a turn to the right, boom, it's off. So clockwise takes it off, and then counterclockwise puts it back on, just like that. I do believe the glass tank is 4 mil and the plastic tank is 2 mil. I just got this, so I'm just going off of what I've researched so far. So, but what we're gonna do, I want to try this in mouth to lung. So I'm just gonna I just made a basic little coil to throw in here. Your airflow rings just go on the bottom of the base here. So it has the nice, has the nice wide airflow ring. But if you get this ring on the correct way, it only goes on one way, which if I get it the right way, I'll know, because it has like a ridge or something. There we go. Just like that. And it does have a stopper. You can only go so far in one direction and so far in the other direction. which I'm not even getting it. There it goes. Man, and black is harder to see, but it's there. So let's get a build station, a build dealie here, and throw this on here, and we're going to put a coil in this. Hopefully, um, I got 26 gauge. I did 8 wraps. That should put me in the 1 ohmish range. I want something that, will work for direct lung, because obviously, I mean, not direct lung, mouth to lung, because I don't want to, sit there and try to sub on a mouth to lung tank. Airflow ring reminds you of the fogger. The fogger, that's an old tank right there. So the other thing you're going to have to do is figure out how long your legs need to be. And considering that these holes don't go far down in there, now when you do make your coil for this, you obviously don't want it down on top of this Ultim. If you're going to be pulsing your coils and getting them red hot, you can melt this Ultim. So you want to get your coil placed up above the Ultim where it's like not really close to it. And you also don't want to pulse it until it's red hot either. So we're going to have to kind of pulse it to break it in. And I'm guessing around 4.5 millimeters. I'm going to use a coily tool by Mr. Simon himself. And I'm going to cut this coil down to 4.5 millimeter. And then we're going to try to get it in there. Now, space coil probably wouldn't be a bad option for this either. I'm thinking space coil probably pretty good, but I don't feel like spacing them right now. Not that it's hard. I just want to try it as basic as I can to start off with and then move from there. So there we go. Now I got to cut it 4.5. And let me see if I can drop this in here without too much trouble. There we go. Boom, it's in there. So if you're too close to the Ultim, what you can do is just, after you tighten this in, lift your coil up. I'm going to need that Allen wrench that was inside the bag. There we go. So I got the Allen wrench. I'm going to try and tighten this down right where it's at. And then I'll lift up the coil if it looks too close. Obviously I got to straighten the coil too, but okay, that one's tight. Let's get this other side tight. This is a lot easier at night. I don't know why. I'm just hoping that the mouth to lung is a true mouth to lung, you know what I mean? I want it to taste good, which QP Designs never let me down yet. Every one of the tanks they've put out have been just absolutely phenomenal. I don't know why they don't get more publicity on YouTube because of how good their tanks are. That fatality, I'm vaping one right now, as a matter of fact, and it's my go-to everyday tank. So there we go. I'm up pretty good ways above the Ultim. I may stretch that up a little bit more. I don't want that too close to the Ultim, that's for sure. But it's close. Let me move that up a little bit higher and make sure it's straight. There we go. Just like that. Because your airflow is all coming right from the bottom of the coil there, right from the bottom. And obviously with this big of a wicking channel, you're going to have to put you're going to have to really space out your wick so you don't get any flooding. So I'm going to make sure I cut a nice giant piece of wick. But first we got to kind of pulse in this coil just to make sure we don't have any hot spots. I'm just going to take the double barrel here and throw on this. And for those interested, let me find out for sure. But I'm guessing this is around 25 millimeters. And we're set on millimeter. Oh, if I was on the right, maybe more around 24 millimeter, it looks like. If I can get it in the right spot. Yeah, I'm getting right at 24 millimeters at the base. So that'll work for most mods out there. You have some tanks that are just so big. This is just, I don't like that angle. Some tanks that are just so big, it don't, you can't put certain atomizers on those mods. If the atomizer, you get a freaking 28 millimeter atomizer and it won't fit on the double barrel because it'll look crazy. Put a drop of VG on the Ultim just in case. Well, you know what? It's going to happen anyway because when I go to put some juice on here, it's done. I got this set really low. It's set at 12 watts right now. So I'm just going to kind of pulse this to see if I can warm it up some. And right now we're at 0.66, which is a little lower than I wanted, but you know, go figure. You can't trust the steam calculator. I should have done 10 reps like I was wanting to do. That is starting to get warm now, exactly like I wanted. Let me just strum this a couple times. And I'm not doing anything that's going to get it too hot to where it'll melt the Ultim, but you can see it's firing from this inside out exactly the way I want it to. Hey, Reverend, how's it going? Another QP tank, man. Will wonders never cease. This is the GATA right there. They only have like 5 left in stock and only in stainless steel, so be aware of that. I do not know if they're coming with another batch or not yet. What I got interested in was because of the fact that they have it's direct to lung and mouth to lung, so you got kind of the best of both worlds in one tank. So I'm going to take some Muji cotton here, and I'm just going to peel the outside layers off. The main thing I'm worried about is getting the actual wicking channels full of wick, which shouldn't be too hard, especially on a 3mm coil. Now, if you're building a smaller coil to go in here, you're going to have to really pack that thing with cotton to get to where you can fan it out enough to cover that deck. So let's get this in here just like that. There we go. And I only need the cotton to barely go down past there, so I'm just going to cut I'm going to cut it right where I'm going to put my scissors right up against the base of the deck, which is probably still a little too long to be honest, but since the juice flows so far down where it comes in, my wick will end up midways in there, and that's fine. That's all you need. My name is Cleveland Brown. I know I sound like Cleveland Brown, especially sometimes, but you know, that's just a southern boy in me. Now I'm fanning this out. I'm actually raking this cotton out to loosen up the fibers in here and straighten them all out to where it'll accept the juice a lot more. And all I'm going to do, if I can stay on camera, is take this and tuck this into this wicking hole, nice and easy, not forcing anything. You don't want to choke off your wick to where it can't pull the juice, that's for sure. So I'm just tucking it in there, nice and easy, all the way around. And I don't have my goggles on, so I'm probably just really screwing this up. I can't see anymore, guys. My vision is gone so bad. I need something smaller. There we go, that's in there. Make sure it gets in on the sides, both sides here. There we go. Now you could wet your wick first, which if you do that, that's going to make this push out, and it's actually going to have, it's already going to fill up that hole a lot easier. But I find, you know, putting the wick in here while it's dry makes it, you know, simple and not as messy. You can wet your wick first though, if that's what you prefer. All right, this is pretty much done. I'm going to, when I do set this up, I'm going to set the mouth to lung to the widest airflow I can and see how good of a vape I can get from that. Now, first of all, we're going to, hey Sue, we're going to put a little juice on here. I don't need to be firing no dry coil, so I'm going to let some of this juice soak in. And of course, I'm vaping Nilla Nuts. That's like my all day, everyday vape right there. So available at e-cigs. Hey, look, a commercial. All right, there we go. And what I like to do is I go ahead and fire this a few times just to make sure that that cotton in the center of the coil gets broke in really good with the flavor. That way, when you put this thing back together, you're not tasting uh, like wet socks for like an hour before it breaks in. Um, yeah, Reverend, I am right there with you, man. Vision is, it's like one of the things that go when you start getting older, and you go, man, what the heck is going on? And I know you missed most of the beginning of this, Reverend. Basically, this RTA is set up where you can do direct to lung or mouth to lung. I'll show you in the box here. It also comes with a glass tank. This is glass with the same bayonet style fitting that the M25 has. Then it comes with this tank. This tank is more of a plastic. I didn't even read what it's made out of, or acrylic. But this will crack if you use, menthol or really acidic juices. It also comes with two airflow rings. This is the direct airflow ring. The other airflow ring is already on the base. The base sits over here. Your extras are down here. So this plastic tank, you actually fill old school method. You fill beside the chimney until it gets up even with the chimney. Then turn this whole thing upside down and screw it on, and you're done. So that's what we're going to do now. We're going to fill this guy up. And I know it's been a while since we've had to fill tanks this way, but hey, it doesn't bother me any. I wish there was a little more room, but because it's forming an air bubble around the outside edge. I don't know if y'all can see this. See where the juice is getting stuck? It's not going down through. I don't want it to pour down in the chimney. That's my thing. There we go. I popped the air bubble. Just going around it. Now, this probably would not do this as bad if it wasn't brand new. You can see where the air bubble is catching on the side here, and I cannot, I'm trying to force it. I almost got it full now. All right, that's good enough. We're just going to try it like that, and then I'll make sure you screw this on very gently. You don't want to cross thread this thing. There we go. So I may still have a little bit of air left over in here, but it'll work for our testing purposes, right? And I may need to bump up the wattage a couple more notches, but there we go. There's the GATA in mouth to lung. We're going to see whether the mouth to lung is really good or what's going on with it. And like I said, they haven't disappointed me yet in most of their tanks. So let's go with 12 watts to start off with. Definitely mouth to lung. It is bottom filled, DeMillan. It is bottom filled, but the glass tank that it comes with is top fill. So you only do this if you decide to use this clear tank just to look different. That's the main thing. So I'm going up to 13 watts. No, let's go up to 15 watts because that was a little, it's good mouth to lung. I like the airflow I'm getting, but I'm not getting enough wattage right now. There's nothing wrong with the flavor on that. Let me go up even higher on the wattage. Does it leak? That's a good question, DeMillan. We're going to find out. I don't see any leaking. I do see bubbles coming up. So it actually, there's the bubble coming up. So it's accepting juice. That's a good thing. Man, I haven't mouthed a lung in so long just because I was waiting on a good tank, something that I wouldn't mind using. And I think this is going to be it. It definitely has a it's definitely mouth to lung. It's more of a restricted vape than you're used to with a direct lung. But I'm getting decent vapor production and incredible flavor off of it. Let me go to the smallest hole. Okay, even on the smallest setting, it reminds me of a lot of the pods that you get that have like right at the verge of good airflow or not good airflow. This is like right there. So I think they did a good job on the airflow because this is working. I would say so, Unicron. K-Fun-esque, I don't know. I mean, just because of the way you feel it, yeah, but the flavor on this is definitely a lot better than I remember in mouth to lung, especially these little pods that you're getting nowadays. If you want a good mouth to lung tank, get a good mouth to lung tank. Don't worry about the stupid pods. This one, and I know this juice is non-acidic, non-menthol. It's not going to crack this tank. So, and this is what I vape all the time. So why not? It's nice and quiet. Hey, Lethal. It's nice and quiet. I don't. There's not any rumbling in the airflow. It does have a nice small drip tip, which you could basically take the other drip tip out and put on here, but that's defeating the purpose. If you're trying to do mouth to lung, do mouth to lung. Um, and it's single coil instead of fiddling. I mean that coil was, you saw it was really easy to put in there. It's not hard at all to do. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that vape right there. Nothing at all. I'm going to continue to chain vape this to see if I get a dry hit. I think the way I wick this is going to work just fine. Um, you can tell usually early on if you didn't wick it correctly because you'll either get flooding or you'll get a lot of dry hits. And right now, there's no dry hits, and I'm still seeing bubbles come up right there. That lets me know. That lets you know that the juice is getting in there to your wicks. All right, I'm gonna chain vape it. I'm glad this is only 6 milligram Nick. I'm just saying. It's 60 pounds in the UK. Yeah, I don't doubt it, Tetley. I know the U.S. dollar is what they have set on their website, and I believe let me see how much it's listed for. It's for 52.99 on their website. It said they had 7 available in the stainless steel. So that's how many is available right now on their website. If you want stainless steel, um, you would get one if it had a glass tank. Sue, I mean, did you not see what I was just showing? Um, Let me click back here where I can see what I'm doing. There we go. Here's the glass tank. It comes with a glass tank also. This is glass. This has the same setup that the M25 does. So if you want to do direct lung, oh, okay, you didn't see. Okay, yep. This setup I have is for, it comes with both of these. So if you want to do mouth to lung, you can use this plastic tank. It's 2 mils of juice. Obviously, you don't need as much juice because you're doing mouth to lung at low wattages. You can even see that the drip tips, this is a bigger drip tip than that one because this one's direct lung and this is mouth to lung. So you can basically just unscrew this, throw this on there, you're done. You've switched over. Besides taking the, you want to take the Ultim piece out. There's an Ultim piece in the bottom of the deck that's used for mouth to lung. If you pop that out, and they do give you a spare one in the spare parts bag, if you pop that out, then you got really good direct lung. I can tell that this won't be that hard. I mean, when you switch that airflow ring and that Ultim out, this is going to be really good airflow. But it's still single coil, so remember that it's single coil. I don't see how you could get away with doing dual coil on this at all, even if you tried, just because all the airflow comes from the center and the center only. But that's the way it goes. It's still vaping really good though. I got no problem with the airflow. I got it on the smallest airflow setting, and it's not so restricted that you can't vape it at all. It's not even close. I like stuff like this because if you're doing mouth to lung at really higher ohms, I mean, this is not that high of an ohm, honestly. Let me see what it's showing now. It is point, need my glasses. That's what it's at. Is that point, need my glasses? I'm at point 0.9. Okay, I must have read it wrong earlier. It is at 0.97. So it's technically right at a 1 ohm coil I have in here. And I'm vaping it at 18 watts. Now, obviously, I could turn the wattage down a little bit, but I like a little bit warmer of a vape. So I'm at 18 watts, no problems. No burning, no nasty taste, none of that. Vampire, you could get, like I said, you could get a dual coil in here. The problem with it is the airflow only comes from one spot directly in the middle. Now, I haven't popped out the Ultim piece to see how big that hole is. If there's enough airflow coming through the center to that it can share the air on both coils, maybe you could get a dual coil in here. It has a nice wide deck, so you could put a 5 millimeter coil in there if you wanted to. You could put a giant coil in this thing, but there's no need to. I want to take like a fused Clapton and put in here. The only thing, and I have plenty of fused Clapton made up that I did myself. I can actually get one of those. I'll just have to put a lot of wraps in it to get that ohms up if I want to do mouth to lung. But I think mouth to lung on a fused Clapton or an Alien or something like that would be really good. Um, yeah, here's the M25. I'm vaping it right now. So the bigger builds and stuff like that, I put on the M25. Um, but something like this, I can mess around with and play with a lot more different styles of builds and stuff. And QP is already, if you look on YouTube, if you look up QP, just the GATA RTA, you will find their video. He goes through and explains every part that's in the box. So me telling you now is just extra, um, just getting the word out, really. Um, I always stood behind QP Design. They've always put out really good stuff, and the machining on this is excellent. I thought it was going to be really bad when I tried to screw this plastic, but the metal, the inside, the chimney is where it actually threads. It's not on the plastic, so you don't have to worry about stripping that part out. But I still wouldn't want to cross thread it. How big are the post holes? Ooh, Reverend, you could definitely get a fused Clapton in there. The post holes, it's going to be hard to show you without taking it apart. Um, but you can put a fused Clapton in there, no problem. I would say 2 millimeter by 2 millimeter. I'm guessing, um, but you can tell that you can fit a fused Clapton in there, no problem. And I just put a regular coil in here. Yeah, I should have measured those post holes. I'm wondering if they put up under this. No, there's nothing under it. Here is, let me give y'all the breakdown. 510 drip tip, another one, mouth to lung, direct lung. 2 mil tank is, okay, the clear tank is 2 mils, and the glass tank is 4 mils. Side installed screws, vape band with logo. I don't even think I got a vape band, but I don't care. Black O-rings, accessory bag, serial number, hex grub screws. See what you got, mouth to lung and direct lung head. compatible with Saltnik, high VG or 5050. So pretty much it's saying, hey, you can put anything in here. Oh, there it is, color black, QP design. What? No vape in a bin? Oh, there it is. Don't vape in a bin. It's right there in green, man. I like that they got the 18 plus on there too. What do you want, a new shiny? Of course you want a new shiny. Everybody wants a new shiny, right? You know what? If you want to go shopping for a new shiny, I have a complete case besides what's in the cabinet, plus all that over there. I'm sure you can find something. Yeah, Jim, you won't be disappointed. Right now, I'm loving this thing in mouth to lung. I really want to try the right, Bill. Here's the tank, Bill. This is the mouth to lung. I don't know how long you've been in here, but this is the GATA with the mouth to lung, and the airflow holes are going to be so hard to see on that camera. Let me see if you can see them right there, right there. So you have really small, medium, and large. And I have it set on the smallest one right now, which I probably should be going for the larger one since I'm actually vaping it at a higher level. But this is like a plastic tank that you don't want to put menthol or anything like that in there. And then it also comes with a glass tank. So with direct lung. So if you want to do direct lung, you can do direct lung. And if you want to do mouth to lung, you can do mouth to lung. Single coil. Single coil. There you go. Lethal, yeah, I don't think you'd be disappointed. Like I said, I haven't seen anything QP Design put out that I was like, holy crap, what a shitty tank. No, that hasn't happened. So I'm so not used to mouth to lung. Most of us have graduated past the mouth to lung and went direct lung a long time ago, but it's something about a mouth to lung vape that it's just more satisfying. Usually on mouth to lung though, I'll bump up the nicotine level. Usually by double. So if you vape 3, you probably want to vape 6. If you vape 6, you probably want to vape 12, something like that. Um, I don't know about going from 12 to 24, but there you go. I mean, that's really good vapor production for a mouth to lung tank. I got no problem with that. The flavor is exactly what it's supposed to be. Mm. Definitely want to try um, like a higher Nick juice, just to give me a little bit more, I don't know, throat hit. Maybe I could play around with the PG ratio. Um, yeah, this tank is not leaking a single drop. Not a single drop. Nothing. So that's the good thing about QP design. I mean, if you build it right, you don't have issues like that. It just vapes and vapes and vapes. I mean, obviously, you go out and put your mod in a freaking 90 to 100 degree car and it thins out your juice, it's going to pour. Reverend, I completely agree with you. I think it's time that we went back to mouth to lung. It's always been this big old cloud direct lung stuff, but mouth to lung, there's something good about it. It's more reminiscent of when you actually smoke cigarettes compared to direct lung where you're just taking these big clouds and puffing them out, which that's good, but you can get the same kind of flavor out of mouth to lung all day long. It's not about clouds with that. Yeah, I remember that, Bill. Set it up for direct to lung now. Ian, dadgummit. Okay. You know what? I will do it. But I have to vape a little bit of this juice out. I don't want to turn this thing upside down and have juice coming all over the place. All right. So let me vape this for a few minutes and we'll set up the direct lung because I'm anxious to try that myself. I will have to pop the build out of here because This is a 1 ohm. I don't think I want to be vaping 1 ohm at direct lung. So I'll throw a fused Clapton in there. Boom, boom. Good to go. We're done. What's up, Paul Paul? Reverend, you got a good point there. Um, you got a great point, actually. You know, I've been wanting to show people how to DIY and stuff because I think it's important, especially for the current vapors. Now, obviously, that won't help any new vapors that are trying to quit smoking now, but for the current vapors, I think they should all, even if they don't want to, at least learn how to DIY. That way, if these bans come down, depending on what kind of ban it is, if it's a ban on everything, then I don't know what you can do. But if they ban flavors, then you're still able, as far as I know, you'll still be able to go buy individual flavors to mix for whatever juice you need to make. Should be able to buy VG, PG, and nicotine. Now, nicotine's the iffy one. That's the one I worry about. If you haven't stocked up on nicotine, you may need that. And that's only if you vape Nic. If you don't vape Nic, obviously don't buy nicotine. This video was brought to you by Scuba's Wallet. Yes, this was not sent to me by QP Design. This I bought and paid for with my own wallet. You don't have a mod to fit it, DeMillan? You don't have anything that'll hold a 30 millimeter? G class, X class, the this one, which I can't remember, Steam Crave Titan PWM, I think it is. Yep, that one it'll fit on. Yeah, that 30 millimeter kind of throws. You have no class? Okay, well, that makes sense. No class. There you go. Now, if I didn't lose Allen key, I did not, thank God. So I'm going to take this apart here in just a minute because I've almost got it low enough now to where I can actually do this. What's up, Ninja? And then we're going to try it direct lung. And then we'll know, hey, did this everything? I got some aromizers, Ian. I don't know if it's the light or not. I got 3 of them from the auction. 3 aromizers. I already have, I don't know how many aromizers now. I have the one DeMillan's talking about that you can build 10, was it 10 mil, 20 mil, 30 mil? You can freaking make a giant tank out of that thing. That's the Supreme, though, I think. Yeah, it's so weird doing mouth to lung. You want to hit it over and over again just to get that full flavor. I can't explain it. The drip tip is actually comfy, um, but it is removable, so you can put your own drip tip in there if you want. So this is just a normal 510 drip tip. So if you want to put your own drip tip in there, you can do it. Mm, that's good. Okay, this is where we're going to find out if I make a giant mess or not. Because if I'm going to switch this out while it's still almost full of juice, it might be a mess. The problem with mouth to lung is you can sit here and vape and vape and vape, and you barely move the liquid level because it's just not using it. Of course, by Friday, I'll be able to go through more of this. I mean, this is basically a first impression look, whatever you want to call it. So first, before I take this apart, while I'm doing all that, let's get some fused Clapton wire. Ought to be plenty long enough and make a fused Clapton that I can set down in here without goggles on. Oh boy. Now normally I do 6 wraps, which would put me a little over 0.4. So let's go down a little bit. Let's go 5 wraps. 3, 4, And that's wrap number 5 right there. That should be plenty for this. If I'm going to really push it to its limit, why not do a lower ohm coil? This is still going to be higher than, higher than a 0.23 obviously, but it'll still be a little bit low. Now let's cut these leads a little bit long, and then I'll go back and even them down with a coily tool. So here's the fuse Clapton. I know that's not going to focus because that camera's, don't like focusing. All right, here we go. Let's go to the build cam. I'm going to try and take this apart without making a giant mess. So I'm going to let all this juice settle down towards the tank section. That comes apart really easy, actually. Look at that. Done. Set that over to the side. Hopefully it won't leak. Here's the state of my cotton. And you can see that the wick is really well juiced. And actually this is good because now Reverend can see how big the post holes and all that are once I get these out of here. I hate taking this build out. I just put it in here, but y'all want to see it, I'll do it. It has hex screws on each side. There we go. That should be good. Good enough to take the build out anyway. Stop being stuck. There we go. Let me set that over here somewhere. So here's the inside. So you see how big those holes are. You could put a decent sized coil in that thing. That's what I'm saying. You're not going to be like, oh, I can't fit a fuse Clapton in it. No, you got plenty of room for that. It's not like the old mouth to lung atomizers that had minuscule holes. I'm going to try to measure it. I don't know if my little tool can even get in that far, but I'll try. Let me wipe this off because there's juice all over it now. Yeah, good luck on this. Wow, did I not look at that. I told you it's about 2 millimeters. I was just guessing, but yeah, it's measuring 2 millimeters across and it's about the same this way also. So it's 2 millimeters this way and it looks like it's about the same that way. So nice giant holes for that. Now, this Ultim piece, I have not tried to take this out yet, so we're going to see how big this Ultim piece is. Wow, maybe I should put my goggles on for this because I can't even see what I'm doing. Yep, goggles time. Now, if I can do this without hitting my keyboard, that would be most excellent. This is definitely not easy to pop out. I'll tell you that right now. Maybe because it's in there that way from the factory, but it is definitely in there. It's coming up. I'm rocking it back and forth. There we go. It's out. So there's the little, see, I knew I would hit a button. I knew I would hit a button. Here's the little Ultim piece, which you could lose because it is very small, but since they give you a spare one, it's not that bad a shape. There's the nice big open airflow in the center now. So now we're going to have to pop this ring off and grab the direct airflow ring. And this has got this nice big hole on there. And throw that one on there. Boom, just like that. Am I all the way on there yet? No. Hold on. It's on there. All right. Let's put this back up before I lose some stuff. Whoa, don't break my glass tank. I need to use that here in a second. Take the glass tank out. Boom, boom. Now, the coil I just made is still right here. So same thing, I'm going to cut this at 4.5. I don't have to worry about the Ultim anymore. So actually, I could probably cut this a little shorter So you know what? Let's go down to 4 millimeter because the Ultim is no longer in there. You don't want them right down on the airflow with the Ultim there because you'll actually burn out your Ultim. You'll melt it. Not good. All right, let's get this screwed down on this stand. See if I can get this in here without too much issue. There we go, it's in there. Let me see if I can get it back on camera here. All right, put my goggles back on, that's what I'm gonna do. Even with my goggles on, you know, it's just, oh yeah, you can feel that tighten down. I like that. Get in there. Okay, let's see how good this is going to be. Single coil, single airflow. Actually, you know, instead of it having an airflow on both sides, it's single airflow. So you got to be aware of that too. Oh, a little more. There we go. Right there, and I got that thing like right above the airflow. It's going to get every bit of it. I mean, I could lift it up just a little bit probably. Maybe we'll do that now. It's got to have room to breathe, or it's gonna be like nice, Jazzy, nice. Look at that. Everything's coming together. Okay, let's get this coil burned in. Like I said, I don't have to worry about Ultim now, so we can crank this thing up. Let's go up to around 50 watts for now. And what ohm are we showing? 0.27. Wow, I'm 0.24. We'll see how that changes once I get this all the way in. That's about it. There we go. Now I'm showing 0.36 actually. I make sure, I'm gonna go back and double check these to make sure they're tight, because once you heat up your coil, sometimes these can get a little loose and then I'll throw your ohm reading off. If I can get it to catch. There it is. Oh, that's tight. And this side feels tight also, yes. Now we're at 0.35, 0.36-ish. All I gotta do is put some cotton in there. Hey, Gail. So I'm going to cut this same way I did the other coil for 3 millimeter. I usually cut, it's about a 1/2 inch of cotton. I cut straight across just so that I can make sure that the coil gets enough wick in the center to where it's not like straining to get juice or giving you that dry hit taste. There we go. Let's get one side tucked down. Yeah, this is going to be interesting to try it direct lung this quick. I was really just going to sit here and vape this thing mouth to lung. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to put my scissors right up against the base and cut. I mean, that seems to be perfect for this atomizer. I'm sorry I keep going off camera. It's so far to reach. There we go. Now I can probably get this better. And we're going to strum this out again. We're just going to rake out some of the cotton so it doesn't have all these. Basically, you know, what the problem with it is when you cut your cotton, those scissors come down and clamp and push a lot of this cotton together. So you're getting that out of there a lot also when you do this. All right, let's tuck this down in. I should have left my goggles on. They're on my head, they're just not down. There we go. Main reason I'm doing the sides like this because you can't really tell if it's in there unless you push back in. Now I can tell that it's actually locked in there. So I'm going back to the other side here. Do the same thing, just bow it up and tuck it in nice and easy, not forcing it. And check the sides. Make sure they're covering the entire thing. There we go. Done. Now I need to get some juice on there. Now, should I use the same juice? You know what? No, we're going to try strawberry from Jam Monster. Because I don't want to vape the same juice in different tanks. But I do have to put some juice on here to start off with. I don't want to, you know, just throw some in the tank and hope that it wicks it up good. That's not good. So put some on here. Give it a quick fire. Do it again. Quick fire. Quick fire. I think we're good right there. Now this, I can just take this whole deal here and screw it on. Boom. Let's take the top off. Now we can fill this thing. Now I don't believe this has a juice flow cutoff. It does not. So we're just going to hope that everything turns out okay. And this holds more juice. This holds 4 mils instead of 2 mils. Yeah, I can tell already it holds more juice. It is full. Pop that back on. Counter rotate it. Airflow's all the way open right there. See, there is no other airflow. So as you can see that. Because it's all coming directly from up underneath the coil anyway. So that's the only airflow you need. Let's go back to the main cam. We're going to vape this and hopefully, let me see how the airflow is. Wow. Okay. This is definitely a restricted direct lung. Woo! But, wow, that's a lot of flavor. Wow, that's a lot of flavor. I ain't lying. Damn, that's strong. Hold on, maybe it's because of the juice that was just on top of it. That's strong. I'm at 50 watts. Let me go down maybe a little bit in wattage. Let me try 42 watts. Oh, yeah, I like this. I mean, it's not okay. If you picture the fatality and the airflow from it, obviously it's a lot more airflow in the fatality. This one is a more restricted direct lung, similar to the way the Kelpie does. It's still direct lung, but it's restricted, which to me is just ramping this flavor up like you wouldn't believe. Holy moly. That is strong. Woo. The mini M20, yeah, that would be good, Ian. Hell yeah, if they make a mini M25, boom. I'm tasting every single note of that strawberry toast. There's no question. Mm. I like it in this mode. Mouth to lung was great, but this is freaking awesome. I ain't gonna lie, this is awesome like this. Mm. You can still direct lung with this. I guarantee. Let me turn the airflow down. I mean mouth to lung. What am I talking about? That turns it way down. Yep. You can do that, but at 50 watts, it's going to burn it up. I can tell that right now. So I'm going to open the airflow back up. Let's make sure it's all clean. And we're going to see if it leaks at all. It's at that, that pivot point between mouth to lung and direct lung, it is open enough for direct lung, but it's not like a wide open direct lung. It's definitely restrictive. And I moved the coil up off of the base. Chris, they haven't said so yet. I'm hoping they do another run because literally they have, what, 7 tanks left. They went on pre-order sometime last week or right at the end of week before last. And then during the week, they all sold except for a couple of them. Yeah, we're getting it. We're getting it bad over here, Rob. Without question. Or Reverend, this is perfect for you. If you like between a loose mouth to lung and a restricted direct lung, that's what this is. No question. No question. Because I find myself wanting to mouth to lung this, but you can direct lung it. It's right on that tipping point. I'm almost mouth to lunging it anyway, but it's a much wider airflow. What's the percent more flavor that you would say compared to the M25? Ooh, good question. Good question. It's not fair right now. I don't have the same juice in both. And this is a really strong flavor I have in there right now. For anybody that knows Fuggin, their flavors are really strong. It's a grape flavor. It's really strong. Wow. That's a tough call, Evan. You're definitely getting more airflow and more vapor production from the M25 and outstanding flavor. This one is a more concentrated, if you can think of it that way, it's more of a concentrated vape. Um, but it's damn good. It really is. Man, I don't know. Maybe it's the juice. I'm going to have to try this same juice in the M25. I'm sorry, Gail. I don't mean to make you want to buy more vape stuff, but I'm just telling you like it is. This thing is, I'm actually getting that liquid flavor taste after I vape. I can still taste it. I don't even have to vape. I can taste that juice right now. That's pretty damn strong. Mm. And that's just with Fused Claptons. That's not even aliens or anything in there. That's freaking good. Oh my goodness. Now I'm guessing that this is going to blow through juice a lot faster than the mouth to lung. Oh, I'm getting Nick high now. Woo. Yeah, build your own K fund. There you go. See, I just mouth to lung it. I'm telling you, it's confusing because it's on the line. It's right on that line between mouth to lung and direct lung. If you wanted it even tighter, you could put the Ultim back in there. Boom, it's an even tighter draw. So the good thing about this is you can still adjust your draw. So even if I have the glass tank on here, I can take that direct lung airflow off and throw the mouth to lung airflow on there and get an even tighter draw. But I'm telling you, it's right at the perfect point between mouth to lung and direct lung. I can't explain that anymore. It's right there. It's good. It's good. Oh, good. I can get off. I've only been on for an hour. I just basically wanted to show you all the first looks on this thing and a build on it, and we actually built on both of them within an hour, so I think we're doing pretty good. But I will definitely have it um, on Friday, and we'll go through some more on it. I'm going to try this same juice in the M25 to see which one's better, because honestly, Evan, it's not a fair comparison just because this is a different juice than that. I want the same juices. Not obviously, I'm not going to get the same exact resistance because that's single coil. This is dual coil. I can get close, but that one's showing 0.36 or 0.35 is what I'm showing on there right now. But it's This is really good for a top fill, bottom airflow, single airflow is really good flavor. Mm. Oh my goodness, I wish I could just make that juice. That's really good. The Geek Vape Amit. Yeah, MB, I don't know. I know Vic did a review on that. If you look at all Vic's mouth to lung RTA reviews, you can see basically which ones are his top ones. Okay, see you, Reverend. And then judge off of that. But I'm gonna bump off here, guys. Thanks everybody for showing up. I'll be back on Friday, if not sooner. And y'all have a great rest of your week. Have a good one. Peace.